Well, hello, Toreros, far and near. It is Sunday, the 10th of October, 2021, coming to you on a Sunday afternoon from sunny, warm Monrovia, California. And I don't really have a lot this week. This is a week for you to work assiduously on your lit reviews. You've got great, you've all got a great outline. You've got a great sort of bones for your lit review. So it's just a matter of going out and finding the literature that's going to kind of fill in the skeleton, shall we say. I mean, it is, after all, Halloween season, so kind of use those references. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you're doing really well. I'm on my way to San Diego tomorrow, Monday the 11th, via train, via Amtrak. And I'm going to go and meet with some of you folks and do a little team teaching with Fred Galloway on Wednesday night, and just kind of hang out the old university, hang out on campus, be a presence. Not really, but just be on campus and talk to some folks. I want to see my fellow faculty members. I'm actually going to meet with V. Dozier, as you recall, our great Souls librarian who you've been working with. So I don't really need to remind you who she is, but going to meet with her and probably interim chair Bob Donmoyer, for those of you who know Bob and work with Bob. We'll hang out with him a little bit, and maybe a few other faculty friends, who knows. But anyway, I just wanted to say welcome to week 7, if you can believe it already. And again, sending you my warmest regards and hoping that you're doing really well, and that you're taking the time to really, dig into this lit review. I mean, the way the course is structured, you've got plenty of time, and I tried to make sure that, you would have time around your busy schedules, and to be able to sit down and really get into the literature and do some really, really good writing about it. And so there you go. Let me get my screen shared here. Just PowerPoint's like kind of a mini PowerPoint, I guess, if you want to call it that. But here we go. Oh yes, here we go. All right, let's have a little slideshow action going here. If I can get this thing to do its. Here we go. This thing is really kind of a pain in the butt. All right, hold on here. Slideshow. From the beginning? Yes, from the beginning, from the top. Take it from the top. All right, so here we are, week 7, October 13th to the 19th, 2021. Time is just flying by, and we're not quite halfway through the semester, but we're approaching that. So what do we got for readings, suggested readings this week? Well, it's references, okay? It's a week of reading about references. Basically, it's just looking, if you want to know about how to format citations in your text, and how to create a reference list. This is kind of the week for you to dig into that. And we've got Ridley chapter 7 in text citations, pretty clear. APA chapter 8, works credited in the text. So basically, if you find APA a little bit dry and you find Ridley a little bit more personal and warm, then by all means go with her. But basically, it's the APA citation format that we're going for. So, but she talks a little bit about that as well. Chapter 9 in APA is how to create the reference list. Is basically at the end of your document, end of your lit review. And then I think if you're going to read only one chapter, one suggested chapter this week, it is chapter 10, reference examples. I got to tell you, it's handy and dandy. Let me just kind of go to it here. Oops, all the books are falling on the floor here. Yes, APA here. This is, this really actually is a pretty fantastic chapter, because if you want to see Here we go. You have questions about any kind of reference, chapter 10, APA is where it's at, okay? So they cover, they give you lots of examples, textual work groups, data sets, software, audiovisual media group. I don't think any of you have that. Author variations, data variations, title variations, textual works, source variations. I mean, it is, you want to know about anything that any literature that you will encounter, guaranteed. There's an example right here. So use that as your, like I say, you don't, maybe you don't need to read these chapters, as long as you know where to go to find out about references and how to do it the right way. That's probably the more, that's if you want to put things into the most important terms, that would be it. Where do I go to learn to know how to reference, cite my works in the text? Where do I go to create a reference list? Where do I go for examples of literature that I'm working with that I may have never seen, examples of before? So this is kind of a reference. If you're going to read one chapter, read APA chapter 10. Well, reading it would be a little, I think reading it is a stretch, frankly. I think it's, knowing what's in the chapter is more important than actually going through and reading each example. Knowing what's there, knowing where to look when you need to figure out, how to cite your reference. So there you go. Suggested readings. And this is, I think, if memory serves, I think this is the last, this is the last of the suggested readings for the semester. Pretty good. All right, let's talk about a little bit about what is coming up this week. Well, let me see if I can move myself. I need to move myself from the frame. There we go. Get out of the way. All right, so week 7 assignment. Me time continued. Work and make progress on your literature review. I think I talked a little bit about this last week, but set aside at least 1 hour per day, ideally at the same time, in the same place, to craft your literature review. I know it's hard. And you've got things swirling around, people, things to do, but I'm telling you, to be able to get this literature review done, and ultimately your dissertation proposal, and ultimately your dissertation, this is a really good habit to have. Remember, I talked a little bit about good habits. Well, besides being your own critical editor, this is a great habit to have as well. So do give it some consideration. I'm not going to come over to your house and make sure you're doing it, but well, you never know. Maybe I will. Who knows? Okay, so this week, like I said, it's all about you're continuing to work on your lit review. And you've had, since you turned in your outlines, you've been working at it, working on getting the literature and filling it in. Well, this is just a continuation of that. But for accountability purposes, on the 19th, which is Tuesday, I want you to just send me a copy of what you've been working on. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, it's formative right now. And I'm going to, once, I can look at it, and then I'm going to redistribute them for week 8. So you can have, peer reviews will be conducted. You'll be doing some peer reviewing, and your peers will be peer reviewing too. So anyway, I like I say, this is just a way to get feedback in terms of where you are now. And we'll be using, remember those 5 criteria? Well, those are the way, kind of the way peers are going to be evaluating, this document. So it's just, again, I understand it's formative. it's not anywhere near the final, in your final format. But just don't worry about it. Okay, this is simply a way to get feedback. That's all it is. So just get me a copy, and then when you give me a copy, you can keep working on. It's not like once you send me your work, stop, all work stops. No, just send it. It's kind of like I don't know. I don't even know what you want to call it, but just send it to me. I'll redistribute it, but you can continue working on your lit review. And then when you get feedback the following week, then it's just a matter of incorporating that feedback into your document. I've conducted a ton of peer reviews. I think it's just one of the most valuable assets a writer can have, whether it's a scholarly work, whether it's a whatever it may be, whatever kind of writing work it can be, just having other, in essence, getting other people to look at it and read it and, make sure that you are making some kind of sense. I mean, when we write things, we think they make perfectly good sense, but to the outside reader, it may be all kind of jabberwocky, word salad, who knows? So anyway, so just get it to me on the 19th. I'll redistribute it, and then we'll have a little peer reviewing going on. And it's also good for you. I think it's also good for you. It's also good for you to see where others are in the process, and it gives you kind of a context for where you are. And it's not I don't want you to compare yourself to somebody. Oh, they're doing it better than me. Well, no, that's not the case. Okay, it's not the case at all. They may be saying things in a slightly different way than you would say things, and it's always when you read anything, you pick up different writers' voices, and they kind of, some that resonate with you stay in your head, and you might use as you're formulating your own writer's voice, you may also include some of those other writing voices that you read. So that's not a bad thing at all. It's all part of the process. Again, as you're writing these, make sure to follow the writing conventions, and as always, adhere to APA guidelines, standards, formatting, et cetera, et cetera. Remember, this is your bestest pal, now and forever. Well, forever, at least until the next edition comes out. So, okay, and then certainly continue working with B. Dozier on finding literature. Like I've said, and you're probably going, don't tell us again, okay? That it's this is, your meeting with V was not a one-off. It's a continued relationship, as as is necessary. Maybe you have all the literature you possibly need, going back only 10 years. Remember that I said just 10-year time frame. Maybe you have it all. Who knows? But then again, you might run into something. You go, well, I think I need some literature on this. I need some literature on that. And I don't quite know where to get it. And V can certainly help you with that, conundrum. Yeah, so I think that's about it. It's just for you. It's a writing week, and then you turn your writing in at the end of the week before we move on into week 8. And so there we go. Yeah, this is. I think we're all in a pretty good. You're in a pretty good place right now. It's and like I've said, this is this course is a transition between coursework and your dissertation proposal and then your dissertation. So now you're getting a feel for what it's like to kind of be out on your own, kind of flying solo in the lit review world. So it's not a bad place to be. Everyone who writes a dissertation has gone through this before. You are not alone in you're alone in your own academic journey, but you're not alone. Others before you have gone through this journey. So And it's, and I do hope that you'll be excited. I hope you're excited by what you're finding, because this is, I think I've told people, this is kind of like the, not like the Renaissance, but it is a period of enlightenment for you, if you can say that 3 times fast. It's a period of enlightenment where you've got these really, each and every one of you has got these incredible interests. And so I have to say that I'm pretty excited, because I'm learning some things, new things. You can teach an old dog, woof, the old trick, new tricks. Yeah, so it's interesting for me, and I hope that, because you're going to be living with this, this is going to turn into part of your dissertation. You're going to be living with it for a while. So I hope you continue to be excited about what it is that what you're looking at, all that literature, all the things that you're learning, and then subsequently you're going to teach to me. So added benefit. So I think that is it. I don't have a lot else to tell you. I think, like I say, just send you my warmest and best wishes for successful writing, successful hunting down of literature, successful synthesizing, and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, and so some of you I will see on campus this coming weeks. Actually, it's the end of week 6. Last 2 days of week 6, but it's on the cusp of week 7. So, and I have to tell you, I don't know about you, but this Wednesday to Tuesday week schedule kind of got me all doolally, as they say, a little wacky. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. Be that as it may, I will, like I say, I'll see some of you this week on campus, and for those of you who have never been on campus, when you get there, and for the robing and for the ceremony and for the walk, the dissertation, the doctoral walk, procession. Sometimes I just don't use my words. In the academic procession, it's a spectacular place, and I'm fortunate to be part of it, and I hope you feel you're fortunate to be part of it as well. Okay, on that note, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, and take care. Bye-bye.